Grant Kimberly is a sixth-generation corn and soybean farmer with land north of Des Moines, Iowa. He's worked these fields for the past 20 years.
You just have the freedom and flexibility of getting a day's work done and knowing that you've accomplished something.
It's the way of life here in Iowa.
We're blessed with good weather for the most part and also very good soil.
This relatively small U.S. state is America's second largest exporter of agricultural products. Almost a third of its soybeans are shipped to China.
It's by far and away our largest market.
I, Terry E. Branstad.
That Iowa-China connection is one that Governor Terry Branstad has nurtured for many years. Some say it makes him a natural U.S. ambassador to China.
I think it sent a really strong message to China that, you know, this is an important relationship for the United States.
The head of Iowa's Economic Development Authority, Debbie Durham, thinks Branstad is the perfect choice.
When you're a friend of the president in China, you're a friend of China.
Branstad was governor of a U.S. state longer than anyone else in history, more than 22 years. His relationship with China actually began in his very first year, in 1983, when he signed a sister state agreement between Iowa and Hebei province in China. Chinese President Xi Jinping was a provincial agricultural official learning how to better feed his people when he met Branstad in Iowa in 1985. This is Xi's business card from that visit. They were together again in 2012 at the Kimberly farm.
To see the way they greet each other, there is true respect and fondness for each other.
That friendship between Xi and this longtime U.S. politician will be tested by issues like North Korea that Branstad hasn't dealt with before.
This is going to be a much more shadowy role for him, and some of those instincts aren't going to always be the best tool to use.
Labor advocates argue Branstad often sided with companies over workers in Iowa.
I guess we're concerned as to what this would mean for human rights, worker rights, and environmental protections, both in China and in the United States.
In the end, many believe the Xi-Branstad relationship will benefit both countries.
I think this 30 years friendship makes them know each other very well. So in the future work, I think they can work better with each other too.
Maybe it's an Iowan who helps solve some of the trickiest problems in international diplomacy. That boggles my mind.
The Branstad-China story is an unlikely one.
It's something you couldn't really even envision in a Hollywood script.
Whose next act will play out far from where it all began. Henrik Sabrandi, CGTN, Des Moines, Iowa.